Chicken here, bring you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about some tips and tricks that you can use to reach the global top 50. So, you might not actually be able to get to the global top 50 because that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of work, but maybe you can get your local top 50 leaderboard if you're just able to manage a few of these things. But first, guys, Operation Hit of the Day is going to go out to... We'll just quickly change this here. It's not going to be Cap, guys. It is going to be... You guessed it. We might seem a little bit biased here, but it's going to go out to the chicken. So, kind of a funny attack. It wasn't terrible, but let's just quickly break it down here. So, we had tape here, and basically I thought this was pretty easy. I mean, looking at it, my idea was to get the Zookas somewhere in here between these flamethrowers and cannons, and then I was going to need 1, 2, 3 shocks, something like that, and I guess 4 here for these machine guns too. So we'll speed it up here. We'll show you what happened. It was a pretty clean walk, I think, for the most part. We actually didn't do too badly there. That's usually the hard part sometimes. But we got a pretty good, clean walk away at everything. And then we get up onto the core here, and you'll see exactly what happens. So we get the critters out because there's a ton of cannons in the way. And we landed all the shocks. We had enough GBE for everything. And we're doing some pretty good work on the core. But, unfortunately, I threw out a bucket of critters there. Probably would have been better off to shock the flamethrowers again. But looking at it afterwards, I was thinking maybe I should have gone up to the top side because I only would have needed like 1 or 2 shocks there. But I'm sure you guys will let me know that down below in the comments. So let's go ahead. Let's load up the Zookas. We got Sergeant Brick here. And we have Dr. Terrence, guys. So let's get into some of these points. I've taken down the first 2 stages because nobody wants to watch that. So before you even consider doing a global leaderboard push, the consensus is that you need about... Damn it. You need about 2,500 power powder. Now, I know this seems like a lot, and it is. So basically, what you have to do to get this, which is pretty crazy, it's kind of agreed that you need about 2 years roughly to save up this much power powder, and you're going to need like at least 7 Power Stone Chance statues. That's why we see some of these bases, like the video I made a while back about 10 Power Stone Chance. You see other guys running 7. Whenever you see a base running a ton of Power Stone Chance, they're doing this so they have a chance of getting to the global leaderboard eventually. So you need a whole whack of power powder, and the easiest way to get that, obviously, like we said, is just going to be by placing a lot of Power Stone Chance and just being extremely active for like years. This is why it's so crazy when people are able to reach the leaderboard, because it takes literally takes years of work to get there, which is insane. So so let's say you have the power powder. You're thinking, chicken, I have 3,000 power powder. I never use it for anything. So once you get that much power powder, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to swap out your Power Stone Chance statues for some ice statues. Now, this is a little bit up to the player, kind of. Basically, the idea of using ice for global leaderboard pushing is you need ice so you can gain VPs that much easier. Obviously, if your base has a lot of ice on it, especially if it's boosted, you're going to be winning more defenses, you're going to be getting rated less, and your base is going to be getting skipped more and things like that. So it's just going to make the whole process of gaining victory points much easier. Because if you're doing it like the chicken is right now, obviously I'm not going for a global leaderboard or anything. I'm just trying to get as high VP as I can without any ice statues. But doing it without any ice is much different than doing it with ice, because the difference is... And we'll kind of get into this on our next point, but the difference is you have to attack like 24/7, because you get rewarded by the faster you take on a base with, you can make the most of your base respawn times. You can actually watch this in the radar, if you don't have anything better to do, I guess. You can see how quickly the next invasion is going to come in. It'll tell you the exact seconds until the next NPC or player base. It'll actually tell you if it's an NPC or a player base, like a new enemy or whatever it says. But yeah, you want to make sure that you attack, regardless of your setup. Or sorry, this is just for if you have, if you have all offense. The way to, like, the difference in using all offense versus using half and half or whatever, is just the amount of times you can attack. Like, if you have a job and like you're busy and stuff, and you can't just be on Boom Beach 24/7, then go ahead and put down some ice, and that's gonna be the way to deal with that. So. A lot of people like to say that ice is required at 1250 VP, and I think somewhere in that range is probably fair to say. 1250, 1300, something around there is probably when you're going to have to put out some ice just to be able to compete. Because when you raise your victory points, you're going to be rated a lot more often. You're just going to show up on a lot of people's maps, And you're also going to show up on people's maps that are that aren't like casual players, right? I think I touched on this in a video recently, but yeah, you'll show up on people's maps that are just active like 24/7. We're going to need a med kit there. And yeah, so what were we talking about? We just had a bit of a chicken brain fart there, guys. But yeah, you show up on people's maps that are more active, so you're going to get rated a lot more the higher your VP goes. So that's basically the idea behind that. We'll get some shocks going up like this. And there is some like kind of tricky, like kind of shady stuff that goes on around like the top 10, I guess. Now, if you follow all of these points like to a T, and like you have all your power powder, and like you have all the perfect statues, and you're able to have enough diamonds to exchange the statues when you need to, that's all well and good. But getting to the top 10 is going to still be that's still going to be a feat in itself, guys, because they'll have an advantage because usually I don't know exactly, but usually there's some sort of team at the top, and what they'll do is they'll all have each other on each other's maps, and they just won't attack each other, so they just have to do everything, and it's a little bit easier. Not that it's not hard to get there, it's really difficult to actually get there, but once you actually get to the top, and like you're in one of these teams, there's people helping each other, whatever, they just don't attack, they just let the other player sit on their map, and doing that is it's just one less base invasion that they have to worry about, right? So there is some kind of shady stuff that goes around the top for sure. I'm not like 100% sure on what that is exactly, but it does get difficult to hold your position there for sure if you don't have a ton of ice or whatever. So so yeah, that's the chicken's tips and tricks for getting to the global top 50, guys. So hopefully you guys are going to be able to do this. Personally, I would just like to get on the local leaderboard. I think that would be a good oh man, that mortar just absolutely decimated us. But yeah, hopefully we can get up to, I think just 1250 is the next goal. Maybe we'll reassess from there and do something else fun. But stage 7 goes down. Back. So big shout out to the commenter of the day, guys. That is going to be Golden Stone. And he said, because in my video yesterday, I was saying when would be a good day to live stream. Nice name. That's good. That's what we want. I was asking you guys when a good day would be to do live streams, and I thought Sunday would be good, but then of course NFL, right? Like football Sunday is going to be coming up soon, so I still think Sunday would be a good day. Maybe do it in the morning. Okay. This is probably the worst base we could have attacked on video, but we're going to try to ignore that and just go ahead and destroy him anyways. So we'll get some of these mines cleared up like this. Now, since there's nothing on this beach, I'm not, I'm going to be able to do a nice flare landing without having to worry about any rocket launchers, so I didn't have to do it like this, but it's definitely easier if you can, so always look out for things like that, rocket launchers, stuff that you have to look out for or not have to look out for. Are they going to go off to the left, guys? I'm kind of worried about that there. So we'll get them going up like this, and then we'll get the smokes going up, so a little bit delayed, but I just wanted to use, I just wanted to get some value out of those critters that I threw down if they were able to, hold off those rockets for a little bit. I think that was kind of worth it. So either way, we got up to the HQ, guys, and we got most of our troops. So it's not the end of the world. So we'll get a health kit down for that mine that's about to go off. And let's throw some critters right about here, and then we'll throw some shock launchers, some shock bombs down right there, and boom. That guy's going to go down. He did actually have some boosted ice there. I thought he didn't have any at all. But I mean, if you don't have a shield and you have an HQ set up like that, that's pretty bad. Like, all Zukas is just going to plow through everything, guys. It's just going to plow through everything, especially with battle orders and everything. So let's see what the next guy's base it looks like. Hopefully it's a little less, what's the word? Paraphernalia than the last base? That does not make sense. Chicken? Okay, so we got another no ice base here. And he has a tougher HQ layout because he has mines that we're going to have to deal with. So I think, he's kind of set up to... Actually, what I'm going to do here... We're going to have to bust out the reverse chicken here, guys. So hold on to your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Here we go. Here is the reverse chicken. This is also, I guess, a pretty good global leaderboard secret. A lot of people have ripped off the reverse chicken, guys, just because it's really, really strong. So I'm not worried about that cannon. It can pick off a couple Zukas. But I am going to throw smoke down right about here. And then here. And then this is where the magic happens, guys. So this is where we get... I actually want to take this out first. And we want to go right where that mortar was. And then we're going to go right about here, guys. Now, watch how tight the Zukas are going to walk here. This is just crazy. Again, this is the patented reverse chicken, the reverse Zuka. So, If you haven't seen this before, you're welcome. I know it's kind of breaking the game, but you gotta cheat sometimes, guys. You gotta cheat sometimes. So we'll get 2 smokes wide and nicely across like this. We'll get battle orders up like that. And he does have a little bit of ice, but again, not too worried about it. I mean, we're using the reverse chicken, like, doesn't really get any easier than this. So we'll shock there, and 1 shot, and 2 shots. Boom. It's just that easy, guys. It's just that easy. Using the hashtag reverse chicken. So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Make sure to let me know down below in the comments if there's any other tips and tricks that you would have for global leaderboard pushing. We also just got a crystal nest. We'll definitely take that. And yeah, so let me know in the comments, guys, if you have any other tips and tricks, or anything that the chicken missed about some stuff people should know about having tips to get on the global leaderboard. You see, we're at 22,500. So we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. So that's gonna wrap it up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Check it out.